So this movie is complete shit. Actually, that's not fair, because you can use that at least to fertilize ground. This movie is completely useless. Like, I was debating to give it a 1 or a 0 score, because technically it's a movie, but then I thought about it, and no, it's not even a movie. This is complete garbage. There's nothing in this that could be named as a positive, like nothing. The movie begins with a scene where a Black Ops police force attempts to solve a hostage crisis by shooting the roof with RPGs and then entering to the front door. Like, technically it would make sense to blow off the roof and enter to the roof, but they don't do that, so that's completely pointless. And the acting is bottom tier, not even that. Like, this is so incredibly bad. And on top of that, the gear that they use, this Black Ops Special Forces, is so cheap. I went on Amazon and I found gear that looks better in like 5 minutes in Germany, where you cannot buy that many things. So I'm guessing if you're in Canada or the States, you can find way better gear within half an hour online. From there, it gets even worse. There's a scene where let's call him the main actor, shoots a black guy. And he is basically forced to do the evil guy's bidding, because they say, if you don't do it, we're gonna hurt you because you shot a black guy. That doesn't make any sense, because the guy that got shot was a known associate of the biggest criminal overlord in the city. He was seen chasing a guy who he beat up, who then turns up dead. So you have the prints of the dead guy on the victim, and also they take away his gun, but they leave his holster. So in no way, shape or form does that make any sense. Anyway, he does this, and then he has to get some money, and they basically rob a crack house, all very stereotypical, including jerking women and typically gangster language you would expect from a, 15-year-old high schooler. It's also bad. The acting by everyone is terrible. You could almost say that Frank Grillo is the best actor in this movie, but that is like saying you are the thinnest guy at a Weight Watchers meeting. That's completely useless. Bruce Willis basically just stands around. Well, he walks around a little bit and he does some shooting, but he doesn't look convincing in any of it. The uniforms, quote unquote, of the police officers are just normal clothes with little metal name tags, because they couldn't afford badges, I guess. The police cars look so cheap. They are literally Matchbox cars with better police decals. Everything in this movie is bad. This is, I don't know what to say. This is basically a straight-to-DVD movie who somehow ended up in a cinema. I don't know who is to blame for that. But that is complete garbage, this movie. There are bad movies who are kind of funny, where you can say, okay, yeah, they tried something, they attempted to do something new, or there are some scenes where you can laugh. There's nothing in this movie. Nothing. It's so bad, nobody could laugh, because it's cringy all the way through. The dialogue is so stereotypical, it's not even funny. It's almost offensive. No, scratch that. It is offensive. Like, all the quote-unquote gangsters basically dropping the N-word non-stop, dropping F-bombs non-stop, using the 5 top words that you find when you Google gangster words. And the main bad guy, who's supposed to be like a big shot gangster, has like 4 henchmen. That's it. In his headquarters, there are 3 employees. So, big time, this guy. I'm guessing it should be the police HQ is like one room with a table and that's it. The interview with Bruce Willis that you see in the trailer looks like it's been shot in a random mall where they scared away the people for a couple of minutes. And even the worst part is they use green screen to make cars move. You know, like you have the windows and you have green screen, so it looks like they're moving. But it's so incredibly bad. Like literally half the Twitch streamers or YouTube streamers have better green screens. It's so embarrassing. There are black and white movies who have like pictures that run on a loop who look more convincing than this. In the beginning there's an explosion of a helicopter, and I swear the helicopter explosion in the original Resident Evil 2 looks more convincing than this. There's nothing in this movie that could be considered slightly not negative. Not even positive. There's nothing that could be considered not negative. Even the music is insultingly stereotypical. Like, it's so incredibly bad. This is by far the worst movie I have ever seen. I've seen some questionable movies in the sneak, but this is by far the worst thing I've ever witnessed. It's insulting. Like, before the movie started, there was like a 15-minute period where the cinema was completely black. I don't know, they mistimed the light dimming, and that was more entertaining than this movie. And this is not even like one of those bad movies that you have to see to say, hey, I've seen this bad movie and maybe in 10 years it's a classic. No, this is just garbage. It's an insult to taste everywhere. I have no idea why Bruce Willis and Frank Grillo, and I actually like Frank Grillo, took these roles. Like, all the other actors, I've never seen any of them. They're all so incredibly bad. Like, if you pick up 10 random guys somewhere in a square in some city, they can do a better job. There are soft air teams on YouTube who move more convincingly as soldiers than these guys. It's all bad. Seriously, don't watch this movie, not even for a joke, because if you do, they get money and they will make more of these. This is one of these straight to DVD Bruce Willis, Steven Seagal movies that are just garbage. And I don't know if they do it to scam somebody out of Texas. I have no idea. Just, if you see a poster for it, point at it and laugh. This is garbage. Don't watch it. It's just bad.